This is Agent Mode AI. I'm Abby. The enterprise IT operations workforce is structurally the highest exposure population to autonomous action AI. The task surface that defines the family, incident triage, configuration management, ticket processing, routine diagnostics, scripted remediation, maps onto the agent class capability boundary more directly than any other large enterprise job family. Today we're walking AM012, the procurement deck reading of the workforce transition question for the Chief Information Officer.
I'm Avery. Why is IT operations specifically the highest exposure family?
Other families touch the agent class: legal, healthcare, creative, sales. None are dominated by it. IT operations is unusual in that the dominant share of the family's daily task allocation sits inside what current generation agents can do at production scale. Incident triage starts from structured logs, applies pattern recognition, and routes to a runbook. All operations agent class systems perform competently. Configuration management is rule following on structured artifacts. Ticket classification, intake routing, and routine diagnostics are pattern matching on structured language. Scripted remediation is execution against a structured runbook. Each is in scope for current generation agents, and each represents a substantial share of the IT ops job family's daily task allocation.
The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics data.
The Occupational Outlook Homebook covers computer and information technology occupations as a category, with role-by-role projections updated on a 2-year cycle. The most recent published cycle covers 2023 to 2033. The category-level projection has the family growing faster than the average for all occupations across the projection horizon. Underneath the headline number, the role mix shifts substantially. Roles concentrated in routine task allocation, computer network support specialists, basic tier system administrators, the narrowly defined computer programmer category project flat to declining trajectories on the data. AI-adjacent roles, data scientists, information security analysts, computer and information research scientists, project well above category average growth.
What the procurement deck implication is?
The Chief Information Officer's IT Ops headcount strategy cannot be planned at the category level. The 2033 aggregate looks healthy because the AI-adjacent growth offsets the routine role decline. The team-level reality at any specific enterprise depends on which subcategories the existing headcount sits in and which subcategories the workforce transition plan moves them toward. Procurement decision contracts that reference IT Ops headcount projections should reference the role-by-role data rather than the category-level aggregate. The role-by-role data is the procurement-relevant signal.
The 2025 World Economic Forum Future of Jobs Report.
The 2025 report reads the IT job family bimodally. Multiple IT ops adjacent roles appear on the top displacement list. Data entry clerks, IT support roles narrowly defined, basic tier customer service representatives. The displacement is attributed primarily to AI and information processing technologies. Parallel IT roles appear on the top creation list: AI and machine learning specialists, big data specialists, quantum security analysts, and cybersecurity specialists. The structural finding is the bimodal split. The routine task subpopulation is in the displacement cohort. The AI-adjacent subpopulation is in the creation cohort. The displacement to creation transition is the workforce transition path the deploying enterprise has to support to avoid the team-level disruption that drives net workforce loss.
The 2030 horizon.
The report's projection horizon is 2030. For any enterprise IT ops team in 2026, the procurement decision implication is that the transition window starts now. A team-level workforce transition plan that begins in 2027 is operating on a substantially compressed timeline against the projection. A plan that began in 2024 has had 2 years of runway. The Chief Information Officer's planned start date is itself a procurement deck variable.
The Dario Amodi warning.
Anthropic Chief Executive Officer Dario Amodei's 28th of May 2025 Axios interview projected that AI could eliminate half of entry-level white-collar jobs over the next 1 to 5 years, with explicit reference to roles in technology, finance, law, and consulting. The warning is widely cited, has been engaged with by adjacent chief executive officers and labor economists, and applies to entry-level IT ops roles directly. First-line support, junior system administrators, junior network engineers, junior quality assurance, and the entry-level analyst roles that traditionally serve as the on-ramp into the IT ops career path.
How to read it.
The warning is a chief executive officer level projection rather than a peer-reviewed forecast, and it should be read with that methodology caveat. The procurement deck use is not that the 50% number will land precisely on the named timeline. It is that the warning sets a credible upper bound for entry-level cohort displacement that the CIO needs to plan against. The operational response that turns the warning into a planning input rather than a planning failure is workforce transition planning that explicitly protects the entry-level on-ramp. 3 subcomponents: apprenticeship pathways that connect entry-level intake to the AI-adjacent advanced roles the data identifies as growing, internal mobility programs that move the existing entry-level cohort toward the agent orchestration responsibilities, and named training budgets that close the BCG 14% frontline access gap covered in AM006 at the entry level specifically.
The structural risk if those components are missing.
The team's entry-level cohort flows out through churn or planned reduction, and the team becomes structurally unable to staff the senior roles the data identifies as growing. There is no internal pipeline. The Amodei warning lands hardest at the senior role staffing level 5 years downstream, not at the entry-level elimination level on the immediate timeline.
Agent orchestration versus agent replacement.
2 postures available to the CIO. Agent orchestration is the posture in which the IT ops team's role mix shifts toward managing fleets of deployed agents. The team scales from operating systems directly to operating the agents that operate the systems. New responsibilities include agent fleet observability, agent misbehavior incident response, agent procurement evaluation against the cross-agent class in AM007, and the browser resident class in AM009, and the deployment layer compensating control work that AM140 Procurement Committee Question 4 flags. The H-count trajectory under this posture is roughly flat or moderately growing at the team level, with the role mix shifting H-count allocation rather than reducing it.
Agent replacement.
The posture in which the team contracts through churn as agents take over routine task allocation. The smaller residual team operates a more concentrated set of senior responsibilities, with the entry-level on-ramp narrowing or closing entirely. The H-count trajectory under this posture is declining at the team level, with the role mix shifting towards senior-only configurations.
Both are operationally defensible.
They have different headcount trajectory shapes, different training investment profiles, and different procurement deck consequences. The orchestration posture is consistent with the AM011 named success training over hiring characteristic, and with the AM011 Watson Health change management lessons. It is the posture JP Morgan, Wipro, and IKEA's named success deployments shipped at scale. Train the existing workforce, redeploy them onto the agent-augmented role mix, retain the institutional knowledge. The replacement posture is consistent with the AM006 BCG access gap data on which populations actually capture the wage premium. A smaller team operating at higher per-head capability with the on-ramp delivered by external hire rather than internal mobility. It is the posture implicit in the most aggressive readings of the Amodei warning, and it is operationally available where the deploying enterprise can absorb the workforce flow consequences.
The procurement deck distinction.
The Chief Information Officer's choice between the two is a procurement deck input rather than a downstream human resources question. Agentic-AI deployments that assume the orchestration posture procure differently from deployments that assume the replacement posture. The procurement contract that does not specify which posture the deploying enterprise is operating in inherits both possibilities at the deployment layer cost.
What the data implies for the next 4 quarters.
3 procurement decision moves follow from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, World Economic Forum, and Amadei data together. First, the Workforce Transition Plan needs a 2030 reference point. The Future of Jobs 2025 horizon is 2030. The Occupational Outlook 2023 to 2023 covers the same window. The Amadei 1 to 5 year projection lands inside it. A plan with no 2030 reference point is operating on an undisciplined timeline. Second, the role mix split inside the IT ops team needs to be measured before the procurement decision, not after. Which subcategories sit in the flat to declining list? Which sit in the fast-growing list? Which subcategories the entry-level cohort flows into, which the senior cohort exits to. The measurement is internal data the Chief Information Officer already has. Structuring it against the Bureau of Labor Statistics subcategory taxonomy is the procurement deck step. Third, the agent orchestration versus agent replacement decision should be made explicitly. The procurement contract should reference the chosen posture. The agentic-AI deployment should be scoped against it. A deployment scoped against orchestration that is procured against replacement or vice versa inherits the mismatch as a residual workforce transition cost.
The final word.
The IT ops workforce transition timeline is shorter and the role mix shift is sharper than for any comparable enterprise job family. The Bureau of Labor Statistics, Occupational Outlook, the World Economic Forum Future of Jobs 2025 report, the Axios interview with Amadei, the McKinsey workforce findings, and the Atlanta Federal Reserve workforce currents data are linked at agentmodeai.com/holding/claim equals AM012. AM012 is holding. The next review is on the 6th of July 2026. Cadence is 60 days, with the next review window aligned to any updated Bureau of Labor Statistics or Future of Jobs cycle whenever it publishes.
Holding up. See you next Sunday.